First, let's figure out ways that we can monetize and then choose from those things that kind of overlap with an area of curiosity or area of passion. Otherwise, you sit around watching Scarface all day and that's not it.
Yeah.
The world has changed since the time when you got your first post-college job. If you were to advise those coming out of high school now on pursuit of their career in a modern day context, what have you learned and how would you advise them?
Love what you do. That's the easiest and fastest way I can answer that question. I had a client I was working with yesterday, and we're going back and forth on a lot of different deliverables in one project. And at one point, we're going back and forth with changes, and she says, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "You don't have to apologize. I love what I do. Let's just keep going." I absolutely have hard days, and sometimes I have long days. I've had an extremely busy week. It may take you a little while. It definitely took me some time out of college, but I definitely finally found my way. And I absolutely love what I do. So that would be my biggest advice.
I think the key thing to that phrase is making sure that that word do, and even the phrase do for a living, is highlighted there. People like goofing off. They like doing social things. They like, hanging out at happy hours or playing Madden or whatever. So when you're saying love what you do, first, let's figure out ways that we can monetize and then choose from those things that kind of overlap with an area of curiosity or area of passion. That's all. Otherwise, you sit around watching Scarface all day and that's not it.
Yeah. I'm gonna need a check attached to those hours.
Love what you can monetize. Find something that you can monetize that you really couldn't find enjoyment doing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I need a check attached to those hours.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, education doesn't necessarily have to just mean college. There's so many ways that you can do things where you can get the tools needed to actually execute your job. 4-year education, you're doing like 2 years of general education and then doing 2 years of specialty. And in many cases, having to go back to graduate school or other professional school to be able to qualify versus, hey, man, I can go take the Google Certificates series now and be done this year, have learned the specifics of how to think through the problems that they're going to present me and be fine for going off to execute a job.
Yeah.
I think those are things that are different than they were when we were first job searching.
When our son was saying to us that he didn't want to go to college, his next statement was, "But I don't know what I want to do." It was important for us to let him know you're not choosing what you want to do for the rest of your life. I think one thing that happens probably way more often than it should is you have people that go to college to study whatever. They get to the end of their college career and they hate their major. And in my mind, that really sucks because you definitely don't want to come out of college having spent all that time doing something you don't enjoy doing. Now you got to get a job doing something you don't enjoy doing.
Because you haven't qualified yourself to do the thing that you might really
that you really do enjoy. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like Amir said, you don't really know. And I think that's the hard part. You don't know. I didn't know coming out of high school I wanted to do what I'm doing now.
The knowing part that you have to deprogram kids like him from thinking is that you're talking about something permanent. I'm not saying in those conversations that you have to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. Can I get an idea of what you might want to do for the rest of this year? Like what you might want to learn or what you might enjoy learning. When you come out of high school, you're pretty much qualified as a body. Nobody's hiring you for your brain just yet unless you've done so much outside of high school that you're more than capable of just lifting heavy boxes or organizing shopping carts or cashing somebody out or restocking shelves.
Yeah.
You're general labor, and that's fine.
Right.
What I want you to do in that case and at that age is figure out what you want to learn. What are you interested in? And can we get a job that's going to expose you and pay you while you're learning? The rest of this year, I want to go pursue this thing because I want to learn instead of flipping pizzas, which is not really teaching me anything I couldn't learn in the first 3 days.
Right.
I want to learn whatever it is, certain part of construction or a certain part of, some job. Even people have worked in mailrooms at places in order to learn how the business itself works.
Yeah. I remember when Demi was in high school, she got an internship in the city.
Small business person.
Yeah. One thing that she learned was something she didn't want, which is just as valuable. So she got there, she was working every day, doing research in the office, and she came back home at the end of the internship. She was like, you know what I know that I don't want to do? I don't want to work in an office. That's just not who I am, and I don't want any part of that. And so it's as important to know what you want to do as well as what you know you don't want to do.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
huge. I remember being in my sophomore year in undergrad saying that I kind of wish that I came out of high school, I tried myself in the job market because it would give me more rocket fuel to understand why I'm sitting in yet another English class, because this blows.
Yeah, you come out of high school like I'm going to the next level, and then you realize it's the same stuff I was doing
2
in high
years
school.
of crap, right?
Why am I doing this
reinforcing
again?
the crap.
The only difference is your surroundings have changed depending on where you went, and you have that much more freedom to do well or not.
Yeah.